In the 160-pound final, third place went to Carlos Garay of Rahway, but the championship is between Bob Waldron of Roxbury, a senior at 31-0, versus Rob Johnson of Jackson Memorial, a junior. He is 32-0. Waldron, by the way, 6th in the state last year at 160 pounds. And it's Johnson in the black one-piece with the red trim. Waldron in the blue. And Waldron looking for two, but it's Johnson. No points, no points. Out of bounds. They'll start up again. Johnson of Jackson versus Waldron from Roxbury.
Waldron had only been from Waldwick. That would have been a super one. But it's Johnson who's been doing this all tournament long.
And there's two, and the 2-0 lead. 1:15 to go in the first period, the 160-pound final. Once again, you're watching the New Jersey State High School Wrestling Championships exclusively on New Jersey Network. Mitch Gross and Jerry Saxel along with you this afternoon, and we hope you're enjoying the action. 1:01 to go here in this first period.
So nice not to see him content just to ride on top, but looking to take his opponent towards the shoulders, towards his back. One-on-one, bars the arm.
Again, two of the three matches that Johnson had to get here were by fall. A call for potentially dangerous.
We haven't talked about the Outstanding Wrestler Award because the young men are going for their championship first, but it's wide open right now.
And what's
it's anybody's award.
You voting again?
Yes, I am.
And obviously you have not made your decision.
Not at all.
And the reversal, and it's two from Waldron to tie it at 2. And we're at the end of one period.
It's very, very large wrestlers at 160, and I don't know whether they made the move as some other wrestlers did, but knowing that a Patrick Lynch was going to come back at 171 as an outstanding wrestler from last year's tournament, some wrestlers went down and some went up, and it weakened 171 a little bit, but it certainly strengthened 60, and it certainly strengthened 89 this year. Waldron, a good move to come out. Johnson not allowing it to happen. Both of these young men with explosive power, easily 4 or 5 point moves could occur. Stalling on bottom man against Waldron.
1:22 to go here in the second. We're tied at 2.
Again, stop good moves by Waldron. Waldron again out in front. Waldron with a nice dump. Waldron now going to come up with her body. 1 count, not enough for the back point.
But he gets the 2 for the reversal and takes a 4-2 lead. 1 minute to go in the second period. Now he tries to hook a cradle.
Waldron locked on the leg.
Call it stalemate.
Johnson up hard. Waldron staying with him. Johnson turning towards his back for a second, but taking the head. Waldron locked on the leg again.
There's a warning.
That's a stall and a good call. He's been warned before, and he's hanging on that leg. He's not making an attempt to bring Johnson down. He's simply staying head-to-head with him, and that's an excellent call by the official.
So it is now 4-3. Waldron over Johnson.
It was with 13 seconds before that Waldron was able to score 2 points at the end of that first period. Can Johnson score this period?
3 seconds, 2 seconds, and we're at the end of 2 periods. And Bob Waldron of Roxbury holds on to a 4-3 lead over Rob Johnson of Jackson Memorial.
Johnson out on front again. Waldron attempting to lock on that same leg, but he doesn't have a lock on it right now. When Johnson pushes that arm off, there's a chance of the score. Nobody has an advantage now. They're fairly neutral.
There it is. Still neutral. There's the signal. And the 1. So we're tied at 4 with 90 seconds to go in the third. And a stalemate call.
Johnson, nice move, but then goes flat. Waldron unable to take advantage of it and get behind.
Shall we explain the overtime criteria at this point?
If they should get into overtime, there will be a 1-minute rest, 3 one-minute periods. And then as the criteria goes down, it starts with penalty points and then into back points and then the takedowns and reversals and neutrals. And there is a criteria down to criteria 10, which could be simply on aggressiveness. And whoever the official thinks was the more aggressive, all penalties again carry over from the regulation. And we are coming within 30 seconds of getting just to that overtime, our first of the day.
Stalemate called with 23 seconds to go in the third. Or shall I say 23 seconds to go in regulation. "15 seconds.
At this point, neither official wants to make any call. It's going to cost a victory. I understand it when it's this close and this even.
And we're going to our first overtime of the 1990 state championships. Bob Waldron of Roxbury, Rob Johnson of Jackson Memorial tied after 3 periods, 4-4. So the first of 3 one-minute periods. The 160-pound final, Waldron of Roxbury, Johnson of Jackson. And here we go.
Pressure enough in a 6-minute time period to score. But when we move down to just 3, a little bit of a finger in Johnson's eye. We have had 10 extremely clean championships. Johnson in tight, trying to pick Waldron. Waldron bouncing on that leg, fights off a move. Johnson, can he keep him on the mat? No.
And the crowd says, let him wrestle. 24 seconds to go in this first overtime.
Even the sportsmanship there by Waldron and Johnson on the edge after a very tough move. Johnson having the better of it on the feet, but the better of it doesn't give him any points.
So we're at the end of one overtime, still tied at 4. And as we enter this second overtime, it was Johnson with the takedown in the first to take a 2-0 lead. Waldron reversed him to tie it at 2. Waldron in the second, a reversal to take a 4-2 lead. Johnson picked up a penalty point for stalling, make it 4-3, then escaped in the third to tie it at 4. And that's where we are, still tied. And then we now 5-4. Johnson.
Beautiful switch. Standing switch. He would love to have had the 2 points from it. Was content to come out in front and get his 1.
30 seconds to go in this second overtime.
Johnson again up on top, controlling Waldron, looking to maybe spin with just a few seconds to go. Staying out in front, needs to work behind. Most likely we're going to have Waldron down next period. He's going to have a chance to do his scoring. Johnson for the second time with that hook under the arm, but again on the buzzer.
On to overtime period number 3. Johnson up 5-4. Johnson again with the wrist, trying to throw to Nelson, but it's Waldron who gets away, and we're tied at 5. 35 seconds to go in the third period. Waldron looking to take Johnson down, locks that leg, pulls it in.
Johnson needs to get off the mat and start fresh. He's in trouble. He's close enough to that edge. He should be able to stay there and get off when he needs to. But no, Waldron brings him back down.
Are there points? No, out of bounds. They will start from the neutral position. And it's time to just go to it. And that's what Johnson does as he takes Waldron's leg. So after 3 overtimes, it's a 5-5 tie, and the officials go to the scores table.
And if our own scoring is correct, I would think we would go to criteria 3, greater number of takedowns.
To read it officially, if a tie remains, the wrestler with the greater number of takedowns shall be declared the winner. And it is. It is Rob Johnson from Jackson Memorial, the champion at 160 pounds.